Welcome back to our podcast with the Robot Queen and myself. So today we would like to talk about the biggest doubts nobody actually sees. And there's something fascinating about high performers. I think so. From the outside, they mostly look confident, strategic, disciplined. They publish, they speak, they lead projects, they make decisions, and sometimes there's something nobody really talks about, which are the doubts that nobody sees. So today we would like to talk about those. The quiet ones, the professional ones, the existential ones, maybe the ones that show up at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, so
during
many.
our sleep. So, for example, one doubt I usually have is, am I actually good enough? Am I competent enough? Or am I just appearing to be confident or competent? So if you work in research, robotics, automation, leadership, or actually any performance-driven field, I think you know this one. You get funding, you get projects, you deliver projects, you publish papers, you build systems, and still there is a little voice sometimes that tells you, well, are you actually good enough, or am I just good in structuring complexity, especially in the technical fields? Competence is measurable, but the impact, the vision, the originality, that's something which is quite hard to quantify. And then sometimes you doubt your own skills, you doubt your depths, you wonder whether you're really thinking radically enough, or whether you're just optimizing an existing framework and actually everybody could do it. And so sometimes this doubt is surprisingly loud in the back of the head. Same is, for example, with, am I building something meaningful, or is it just impressive that I am able to program a robot or to make a process to be automated? And I think there's actually a big difference. So impressiveness or impressive is visible, but meaningful is often very subjective or often slow. So you can automate something, you can increase the throughput by 33%, you can reduce cycle time. So these are also all measurable KPIs. But are they really changing something fundamental here for the company, for the environment, for the country? I don't know. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I want to do something that's more meaningful than just a little piece. And and then I think, am I just doing the system or optimizing the system and making it slightly more efficient? Or is it a fundamental change that has an impact?
It's gonna make any difference, really, or not?
Yes. And this also applies to, if I think, am I really optimizing the right thing? Because I come also from the lean thinking. So the lean thinking teaches us to reduce waste and to put the finger on the waste and try to eliminate that. But you're never sure, right? I mean, you need to optimize it, and then you see and can measure the output. And the question is also, what if the system itself is flawed? So you're becoming extremely good in improving and structuring things, but you never know if you become a world-class optimizer of email workflows and process tasks, instead of questioning the volume of emails and the process itself, right? So it's always, you can do a lot of things. This is also the question between efficiency and effectiveness.
No,
So how do you
definitely.
prove that? Yeah. And yeah, and also something like when do you stop? When is your career stop? When does the ambition stop? So there's always the next project and the next keynote and the next strategic move. But there might also be your health, your time, maybe family. So uh, yeah, sometimes I also doubt if can, yeah, it's not like can I achieve more, but rather should I spend
Yeah.
time on that or
Worth my time to do it, you know, yeah.
yes,
My
yeah, or
energy.
how do you classify or prioritize? Huh?
Totally.
Yeah, and another doubt maybe is validation. So am I waiting for the external validation? Does it still matter to me? Or haven't I proven myself enough during the project, during the publishment, during the keynote speeches? Yeah.
I can relate. I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate that the few doubts, but I think the biggest one is, am I good, really good, or am I getting attentions because I'm woman programming a robot?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
sometimes, like now you're talking, it's like, yeah, that I really have that because it's like I'm really good at it, or just because I get some attention because there's not many of us doing it.
Yes.
So anything we do, it is okay. Is that good, or it's just because I'm a woman and so I'm getting some attention here, and you're seeing me because the overall of a lot of men, you're gonna spot the woman there. So sometimes that comes to me and I was like, okay, no, no, just breathe. You're doing something okay. Like maybe you're not the best, but still you're not the worst. But still, like, how we measure that, like how you would say it is great or not, like how you base in what. So that doubt haunt me, and it still haunt me right now because like they're like, oh yeah, she's great, so now she's an influencer, she's the robot queen, like, and like, am I that good, or just I'm good because there is not many women doing what I'm doing? And I have to kind of, okay, just think, breathe, see what everything I've done in the past. And again, I might not be the best, but I'm doing my best, and that's enough. And I know my doubts comes especially when I start comparing myself to others.
Yeah.
And I know we shouldn't do that. If you're hearing this, if you're watching this, stop doing this. It's the worst thing ever. I did that in the past, of course. I improved myself a lot during the years, but we are human. Once in a while, you're gonna do that. You're gonna, oh yeah, oh, she just, got a better job. Like, should I go back to work for some other company? Oh yeah, no, but that's a really cool job. Should I stop everything and apply for jobs now, because now AI and robotics, I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, he's traveling the world on his job. Should I go back and work for somebody else to get that job? Or like, is my job not great enough because my salary is not that high? And they
Yeah.
start doubts there because you're comparing yourself.
Yeah.
And what I learned, because this is with us again, we're human, we're gonna do that often. So what I do is I stop comparing myself to others, and I compare it to myself a year ago, or even 5 years ago, or sometimes even 10 years ago, like before I even move outside Brazil. It was like, comparing to what you wore, how are you now? Like, if you sit down, and I do this exercise sometimes, like I sit down with myself 10 years ago in my mind, it's like, how would tell her, what are you doing now? Like, if she would be excited about it, or she would be sad about it. And
Yeah.
that's what matter.
Yeah.
Because that doubt would haunt you forever. And especially, not just in our life, but any project you're doing, you'd be like, well, it is enough now. Like, am I reduce, the cycle time there is be okay? You'll be, what the difference I made. oh yeah, no, you reduced like 30 seconds, is good. It's like, yeah, but in overall, like it is okay. I can do better because there is no confirmation. And I think because the flexibility in robotics, you can do a lot. You can, the robot can be really fast or really slow, depends of the application. So you don't have like something to measure. It's like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, 1 minute is good. Like 2 minutes not good. There is no measure. You cannot measure to understand like if our project is good or not. It's just you understand that the cycle time is okay, that the cell is in sync, everything is in sync, so you believe it's fine. But there is that doubt there because I think unfortunately we cannot compare to something. There is no what's the word for that, measures, to measure, yeah, your program is good because you are in a minute. Like I
Yeah, yeah,
remember,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I remember one of my first, oh, actually, my first supervisor who's great, teaching me a lot of stuff there. And one thing he used to say is the amount of lines. That's how he would base, like if the program was good or bad, based off the
Yeah.
amount of lines, not by the cycle time. And I got that. I was like, yeah, that makes more sense because depends of the application, like 5 minutes, it's okay. Depends of the application, 30 seconds is what we need. So the cycle time would not be the right measure to do that. So it'd be like, so I still doing that by now. I was like, is my code too long? Like, how many lines can I reduce here? So I go there, like tied up a little bit. Like, can I do that in less than 100 lines? Can I do that in less than 200 lines? But the doubt, it's every day. Like, it's consumed sometimes. And what I do to avoid or at least cut the doubts, because again, we're human, comes very often, is try stop to compare and just say to myself, I'm doing the best I can do, and stop there.
Yeah.
Another point you said that very interesting, like about the career. Should I try something else? Like, is this enough where I am now? Should I do more or not? And actually, it's the moment I'm now, because it's like, okay, I just got now again as the woman most influential in robotics in this twice, like not twice, in the second year in a row, and that's amazing. And like, should I do more? What I can do more? And but like, do I have time to do more? And this is consuming me because like it's great because they are open doors. I think we are open doors for a lot of women, girls that would like even to think about robotics. They were
Yeah.
not thinking before, but still, like, do we have time, the energy? Because like,
Mm.
I don't have a family yet, but I would like to have a family. So should I have all my focus on my career right now, or should I have some, for my life, my personal life, or enjoy life a little bit? I think it's balance. But the point we get here, that we always have to do more, to learn more, to keep
Yes.
learning. I'm not saying you should stop. Not don't get us wrong here. But it's the pressure, because every time you start learning something new, doing something new, that takes time for you, energy, and we like to do things well done with focus. For example, this month, I'm recording e-learning, and that's like I was just saying to Dr. T here, that was more than 40 videos, and it's exciting because it's something I want to do for like 2 years now, but it's really time consuming. It's like we're gonna be probably 30 days recording, editing, and preparing the training for a lot of people that will be able to access it. And you're gonna ask me, can you do more? I was like, yeah, I would be able to do more, but like, do I have time for this? Because if every training I do, I have to stop a month of everything else, like it's gonna be worth, like it is my energy, like why I'm doing this, that those doubts comes a lot. And I think for, I don't know if for men it's different, but for women, that we always want to learn more, not to look like we are not like not, experienced enough. We don't
Yeah,
know
don't belong
about
here.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, you're too young. You might not know that. I was like, excuse me. Like, I learned 7 brands in robot brands. Like, I haven't met anyone, men or women, that have that level of knowledge. So, and I want to learn more. I like, I have
Yeah.
like, just for learning, I have now like one more robot brand that I haven't paused now the learning because of the training. I moved to Spain last year, so I want to learn Spanish, because even though, guys and girls, that my surname is Spanish, and I know I'm not from Spain, I'm from Brazil, and like, even though we can communicate, it's not the same. Like, the language is different. It's another language. And like, yeah, I have a to-do list that never gets shorter. Never. And yeah, the doubts. So many.
I I totally feel what you said when you said you don't know sometimes if you just got the role or the attention because you're a woman. I felt the same way from university ongoing. You are never sure if you're, yeah, if you get the attention because you're the only
Look good.
one, the only woman, and you stand out, or if you really have the competence. I mean, you doubt yourself all the time, and you,
Yeah, yeah,
for example, if I'm invited to a stage or to, yeah, to a keynote speech, you never know, is it because of my competence or if they want to have a woman in the
yeah,
panel,
yeah,
right? But today I have actually made peace with that, and yeah, I just think if a door opens, I walk through it, and once I'm through it, I just try to deliver substance, and yeah,
no,
and then
totally agree.
everything changes. And with the competence in robotics, it's, well, the good thing in robotics is that competence is measurable, right? What I said before. I mean, if you program it and the robot moves, it's a measurable competence that you are able to program the robot. If it doesn't, you
Yeah,
probably to learn something, or the simulation converges, or it doesn't, or the line throughput increases or doesn't. So you can really prove your competence because it's purely technical,
yes,
right? But nevertheless, studies show that men are often perceived competent until proven otherwise. And for women, it's the other way around. They are perceived pleasant until they are proven competent. It's a bit unfair, but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's how we still think most of the time. But clearly, I mean, yeah, the world is changing. But yeah, we need to be precise, we need to be prepared, we need to be technically solid. And I think still for women in the technical field, it's not easy to be average when we are that visible. So we also need to be high performance, high
yeah.
performers
That
actually.
pressure, yeah,
And it's pressuring us, yeah, but the pressure makes us excellent in a way, makes us analytical,
yeah,
strategic. So it's not, it's also an advantage that we have a lot of pressure. Diamonds are formed under pressure, right?
yeah,
So,
definitely. No, I heard, like, I saw a comment a while ago on my post, that the person was like, well, why you feel that way, that pressure? I was like, yeah, because when you are in a group that you're the only one, you're gonna feel that way. You're gonna feel the pressure,
the
even though
eyes are on you.
that, yeah, like,
Yes.
just imagine yourself, I don't know, like, going to like, we do I believe we don't both don't speak Greek, so
Yeah.
you're going to Greece in a holidays, and then you're going to be with a group that doesn't speak your language, English, or, for me, Portuguese. They just speak Greek. You haven't seen them before, never in your life. You just, I don't know, you won a competition or whatever. You're going in holidays with them for a week, and you are the only one there that speak English or your language. Are you
Yeah.
gonna be feel comfortable the whole week there? I was like, yeah, whatever. I use Google Translator, and then you go, like sometimes you go to an island there is no internet. How are you gonna communicate with that person? So you're gonna feel like I need to do something. You might buy a manual, like a dictionary with Greek and your language, English or something, or you're gonna try to learn a few words just to be able to communicate. You're gonna print pictures just to like to order food. But that pressure for a week, you're gonna be on edge because like, how do I communicate? How do I do something? And because sometimes it's not about communication, you'll be able to communicate because people that doesn't speak, they are able to communicate in some way. So
They need
not,
to. They
yeah, they
need to
need to.
learn it.
So it's not the language is the barrier, but when you're on a group that you're only one, as you stand out, you feel like if you do something wrong,
Yes.
that's gonna be much bigger than somebody else doing something wrong. And that's how
Yes,
I feel.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Visibility is a double-edged sword, or how do
Yes.
you say it in English? Yeah. So if you are totally normal or individual, you are part of the majority, you are an individual, but if you are part of the minority, you are like a symbol. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or a representative. Yeah, if you make a mistake, you are the representative, but if you perform well, you are impressive.
Yes, yes. Like I say that, and I say the same you said. Like I make peace with this about being perfect or not because I've been posting on LinkedIn for 2 years, and I know they have probably I would name them here, but they might watch us. So hello them. At least 10 people there that is waiting me for me to fail.
Yeah.
So if I post anything that they think is wrong, they would comment. So I need to kind of double check everything and they'll be like, oh yeah, this is not right. I was like, yeah, it is. It is in the manual.
Yeah.
So there are at least 10 people that I know
They're
that follow
just
me. Oh yeah,
waiting.
they
Yeah.
send me messages that they write in the comments. Oh yeah, that's not right. That's not the coordinate system for such robot, or this is not the speed for such robot. I was like, well, that's what is in the data sheet. That's I even have like one another influencer questioned me about something I wrote about the universal robots, and I asked like, what is wrong? Because I'm a trainer for universal robots. If it's wrong and the training we are giving is wrong, I need to tell them like we need to change this because this is on their material. That's on the module of the training. It's in the robot
Yeah.
because it's one type of motion that's on the robot itself. So if that's wrong, we need to change. And he's like, no, it this and that. It was like, well, you're saying about joint move. That's not joint move. That's something else. So he didn't even, take the time to Google it because you could just Google it or even use AI to search about what I was talking about, and he would see that was right. But he did just jump in the conclusion that I made a mistake, and he was so happy that supposedly I made a mistake. And like a lot of people start commenting. And this, I made the peace with this because, like, if I made a mistake, fine. I'm a human. I'm not an AI. It's
Yeah.
not AI writing the information for people here. If you follow me, if you follow us, like the information are right there. It's myself with my manuals, with my knowledge that I use AI to improve maybe the caption there, but the information is not out there. You see, use AI, you might not get 50% of that I post. But that pressure, and I face that every single day, that I make a mistake because again, there are a lot of people watching, waiting for it to say, yeah, she made a mistake. She's wrong. Like, yeah, I knew it. Like, I knew it. I was like, and and then what?
And
And
then
I
what? Yeah.
and then what? It's like I cannot make mistakes. Like I'm a human. And I felt that pressure in my first year. And thank God I made my peace with it. And now I was like, yeah, made mistakes. If I made a mistake, I'm gonna correct myself because I believe that's the way everybody should do.
Yes.
I believe I made a mistake once and I correct myself every single time. From now, I learn my lesson. I double check everything. But if that happen again, it's like, guys, I apologize. That's the mistake. That's the correct answer, and that's it. Like, move on.
Yeah.
But the doubt, I was like, oh my goodness, am I right? Am I wrong? That's gonna change my life. Oh my goodness, that's gonna end my career now because I post something wrong. Like, come on, like.
Yeah.
But again, when, like as you said, when you're in the spotlight, you have the two side. I would say, I think it's the two sides of the same coin.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes it's
Yeah.
great because you have a lot of exposure, like you can do a lot of things. But on the other
Yeah.
side, like you watch more, like people are waiting for you to make mistakes, to
Yeah.
like, wow, well, she's there, she's not right. And
It's
what
just
I do,
she's just lucky to be there because she's a woman, and yeah.
yeah, they would find a reason, not because of your knowledge, not because of your experience, of all your dedication. No, 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 you're there
Yeah.
because you're a woman, and that's it for them.
Yeah.
Thank God some people think other way. So I'm grateful for my followers. At least I would
Yeah.
say half of them, cannot guarantee the other half, but half of them really support me and what I do. And what I use, as you said there, like we don't know if they inviting us for our experience or because we are women. I'm also was like the beginning. I was like this. Was like, is they're just inviting me for this event because of a woman, or they want a woman there? Because some emails they really write that. I'm like, we need a woman here. We want more
Yeah.
women. And then it's like, yeah, well, at least he's honest. And
I mean,
well,
why
hey,
not? Yeah. I
why
mean,
not?
yeah.
And then I believe like I'm open doors because next year now I at least can invite somebody else. It's like, yeah, now it's two women, like no, three and four. And like in my mind, at least for me, that I tell myself, I'm open doors. If I'm
Yeah.
the first one, maybe I'm not my keynote is not great, but at least I'm doing something. So next year they can invite another woman, and the following one maybe more women, and then we are more seen. Because if we just think about it, like, oh, they invited me just because I'm a woman, I'm not going because that's not I want. Well, then they're gonna invite all the men, and then you're gonna complain because there is no women there.
Yeah. And we're not visible anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, well, I'm going, even though maybe my keynote is not that bad, well, not that great, but like I'm trying my best and go to events. I talk to people. I promote the event as much as I can. I invite women. Like I show myself. I wear like colorful colors, like red, pink, and so people can see me far away. And because
Yeah.
every time you go to events, everybody's wearing black or
Yeah.
navy, and I was like, and then you see me in pink and red. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's bring color to here. Like, because in my mind, like, not my mind, like, what I believe is people should not see us like, oh, there is a woman, but be comfortable. Like, there is one more woman there. Like, they feel comfortable women being there, not
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she's there. Oh my goodness, some woman is here. Was something great. Of course, we are great to be there, but anyway, that's no point. It's like it's okay to be a woman here. It's common because right now it's not common. I went to
Yeah.
an event last year, and it was nice because he said to me that there was not many women there, so he invited me to go there, trying to attract more women. And in the fact, I believe I was probably one of the three women there. It was a little hard to watch because even though now I thought there would be more, but anyway, you see that many, and then everybody was looking at me. It was like, who is she? Half of the people were looking. It was like, I think I know her from somewhere because, red hair, colorful clothes. I was like, yeah. And the other half was like, what the hell is this woman is doing here? There's no other one. But again, now they're talking about a woman there. So next year we go two of us. They'll be
Yeah.
all like, oh yeah, no, she's here again. That's fine. Yeah, they would not talk about women being there. That would
Yeah.
not be a subject. So I
Yeah. Just
do believe,
Vanessa was here too. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, she's here again. Oh, nice. Something like
Yeah.
that would not be like, oh, another woman here. Yeah, the doubts, and I think us like being in the position we are now, we need to make something, and I believe that's how I would help someone, like exposure myself, because I know a lot of women that would not talk like we're doing here, exposing our life, our doubts, our fears
Yes.
to people because they're like, oh no, no, I can't. And I think it is okay because the girls are out there that listen to us, they need to understand it's normal adults. Like even us in the position we are now with better jobs, like you have your family, like we are kind of better than we were 10 years ago. We still
Yeah.
have doubts, and that's normal. Like and
Totally. And what especially I've learned about hidden doubts in the last couple of years, that especially competent people doubt themselves and they're open to talk about it. And usually the loudest people in the room, they question themselves the least. So yeah, a doubt is actually a good thing
yeah,
because you're thinking what
self-aware.
could, yeah, you are aware of your limitations. I mean, Socrates already said it a few hundred years ago. But yeah, but maybe we should think about when we have doubts that we think of what does this doubt try to
To
tell me
tell us.
or protect me. Yeah.
Yeah,
um
I think this is some
but it's totally
self-awareness.
normal.
Yeah, it is normal. Like you're gonna have doubts every single day, like for any reason, of for anything. Of course, if you start comparing yourself to any other person, you're gonna have many more doubts. So I would
Yeah.
say stop doing this. If you want to compare with someone with you a year ago or 10 years ago, if it's really bad, write down, like make this exercise, like because I do therapy. So my exercise, what my therapist explained to me is like, you sit down in a quiet environment, and like if you cannot meditate, you can just close your eyes, imagine yourself 10 years ago in the house you're
Yeah.
living, something like that. So you like inviting yourself for tea or coffee or something, and just two of you, and then you're gonna talk to her saying everything you've done today. And like,
Yeah.
oh, Vanessa, I have done much. Well, just start talking. For you,
Mm.
maybe not much, but for her, 10 years ago, it is. Like, he was like, yeah, I might bought a car, but it's not new. Well, it is a car. She didn't have even a bike back then.
Yes.
Or like, for example, if I talk to myself, like, yeah, now you're living in Ireland, now you're living in Spain, and then she'd be like, wait, we left Brazil? You'd be like, wow. So for you, you'd be like, oh yeah, but like I don't have my house now. I still living paying rent. I was like, yeah, but you're living in Spain. Like, wow. So
Yeah.
start
But
doing
I
this
think I think
exercise.
also the thing is, if you start talking about it to your younger self, you actually realize what you have achieved, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
if you speak it up loudly, then you're like,
yeah.
oh well, yeah, you're right. I mean,
Yeah, because the thing is, most of people do, and again, I used to do that. So that's the exercise I would say change this kind of
yeah,
mindset. You'd
good
be like,
exercise.
well, but do you see that other, let's say, for example, influencer, because that's what I'm doing now. Although the influencer have like 500,000 followers or like 1 million followers, he's recognized with the tag, the blue tag on LinkedIn. He goes in like every event. Everybody paid for him to go there, and you just go in 2 3 events a year. It's not the same. You're really working hard, and you don't have even 150,000 followers. If you start comparing yourself to others, that's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
like, hello, you have 100,000 followers. Like, just because somebody has 1 million, you make this like something lower than what it is. But
Yeah.
that's the doubts come in when you start comparing yourself. Even at work, sometimes you'll be like, well, but that person, it has a better salary, better, and you start getting in a position that you start doubting yourself in everything. Because
Yes.
like, yeah, why I don't have that car that person have, why I don't have the house that person have, why that person is traveling and I'm not. And then you start doubting yourself, that is you capable enough, worth enough of that.
Yeah.
And I believe that's really hard place to be, and how like hard place to leave, because it's just one after another. Like you would not be able to justify, because again, the other person's life is depend of them, what they went through, what they are going through. As my friend says, you don't know if they bought that car in split, like how you say in English, split, like paying in like
Yeah.
20 years, if that
Yeah.
house is even his house, or his house
The
could,
bank.
yeah, could be not even his house, could be like a friend that he just
Or
take
a friend.
pictures.
Yeah.
How you know? Like, and then it'd be like, oh, he goes a lot of events. Yeah, but like he's not with his family most of the time. That's what he want to do. So just not think about the good side of things, because everything has a good and a bad side. So like, because it's in social media today, I believe in any social media, people will not show the bad part of their lives. They're just
Yeah.
gonna show the good things. And I mean, that's okay. I think that I don't show my bad parts either. I mean, I talk on my our podcast, but I don't post that on my Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, this month was not great. No, I don't. And a lot of people do that. So if you just watch somebody else's life, you start comparing you to them, you're gonna question. So I believe that's the best exercise if you're having a lot of doubts. And I know it's hard to us to measure, especially if you're a woman there, because again, like even for us, like we don't know if they like us, that like our job because our job, um, or because we are women. Like I know, like the programs I write, it's great. Sometimes, like I know the difference. They're
Yeah.
like the ones I wrote that's running never had like a one call about them. And like for the other programs, they call me once in a while because the robot had a problem. So I like from that I can see it was like, yeah, I'm not that bad programmer because my project is still running for like after 3 4 years, and
Yeah.
the other ones are stopped like in the first year. So it's just hard.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part, right? If we look at our achievements, you can clearly measure the competence level, but still we have doubts ongoing. And that's maybe the so-called imposter syndrome, but maybe it's just because we're working in a complex environment.
Environment. Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, like I would say outside our box, because
yeah,
women has a box, men have another box, and every time you kind of go to a new places, you be like, okay, what is this now? Because the men, they were kind of raised to be confident, to do whatever they want, and I'm not saying that's bad. Like I would like to have their confidence one day. I'm trying to. They're just confident. Like we are not. I even I saw this research, and I want to make a post about it because it's amazing. A while ago, someone did a questionnaire on the streets, like on the
mhm,
streets, asking men and women, if you're in an airplane and the airplane start having problems, would be confident to land that plane?
uh-huh.
Well, for the men, around I think 60, more than 60% said, yeah,
Sure.
I figured out. Like without having a clue what is an airplane. Probably some of them never even flew in their life. But they said like, yeah, I figure out. Like I would try my best. The
Yeah.
women probably like 5%. And it was like, oh my god, no, I never even, oh Jesus, how I can even land a plane? Like I don't know how to. I was like,
Yeah.
can you not figure it out? Oh no, I can't. Like, can you? Have you ever seen signed airplane? Because first of all, they have an autopilot, and autopilot can also land. So what you
Mhm.
need to do is figure out
How
how to
to
turn it
switch on the
on
autopilot.
and how to communicate with the tower. They would give
Yeah.
you all the information. Yeah, would be able to let. That was not the question. The question is, can you? Are you feel confident you can do it? Not like you would succeed or not,
Yeah.
because in their our mind, like, oh my god, I will be able to do that. Like you imagine you doing yourself, and then you already panic
Yeah.
because you're not, like, the women are not confident. And I'm not saying the men are bad. No, like we need to get what they're doing, like how they're so confident they can land a plane that they never even seen before. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. And then I stopped and start thinking about it. I was like, it might not be that complicated, because if the autopilot can do a lot of things, unless of course the weather is crazy. But the autopilot can land a plane, and it lands planes today in harsh environment, in harsh weather. So what you need to do is learn to turn it on. And how you turn it on? Well, you can communicate with the tower. They can explain
Yeah.
to you. And most of the machines, it must be one or two buttons, not be something really complex, because uh it's there. So I start just like, wait a minute, I wouldn't might not really manually land the plane, but again, I could learn something, and I probably would be able to try. But is that fear, that
Yeah.
confidence? I don't think we
It's
were
not enough.
raised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we were raised on that way. Maybe the new generation is, but we're not. And like we start building that confidence like years later. Like the men, they're born with that confidence, and then people just increase or help them to get more and
Yeah.
more. And because of that, like like doubts comes a lot, and we, like, you can doubt yourself now, and probably if you're watching there, I want your answer if you can land the plane or not. No,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're confident, no, the question, if you're confident you
Confident
could
enough.
land the plane. I'm
Yeah.
not asking you if you would succeed or not. That's not the point here. Like, just imagine, picture yourself, you're inside the plane, something happened with the pilots, you have to do yourself. Can you?
Very good ending question. So we are very eager to read your
To understand
answers.
here. Yeah.
Yes. And we hope we get a lot of confident answers from women.
Now, if you're not confident enough, I want you to go there on Google or on the chat GPT and learn how to do it. And
Yeah.
anything.
Well, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, see you at the next episode.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you like it. And we're looking forward for your answers. Thank you.
Bye.